Here. Okay, now I got all audio. About to, damn, there are no team setters.
All units be advised. Our suspects have waived their Miranda rights. You got one in sight? Put him down.
All suspects be advised. Suspects waived Miranda rights. They probably had drugs. Everybody leave me the fuck alone because I'm role-playing right now. We're on, just got dropped in an urban environment. I have what appears to be a fake counterfeit badge and a sniper rifle that I seem to pull out of nowhere. I found a tracing pistol, and now I'm right here, been tasked with eliminating enemies. I am to go from point A to B, and I got the alleyway covered sniping. Oh shit, I thought that was an enemy. I'm about to go recon up here to get it's right here. Enemies are 2 buildings. 1 building. This is north. I'm getting sniped, someone's sniping. We got somebody at the top of the tower. Goddamn, so close. So close.
Suspect sighted.
Hey, check that sniper!
If it was on my other account, I've played this game like... I've replayed the game 5 times in a row under different accounts. Because somebody always hacked my logins. I don't care. I restarted from 0. I played for fun. I play to enjoy myself.
Got this guy.
Take that officer!
I gotta get a gun that shoots with better bolt. Better caliber, rather. I said bolt. Son of a bitch. I somehow know I'm behind here.
Hey, get back here! Got him!
Fuck, alright. You got a sniper up there. Something's off with the fucking metering. Doesn't say if it's north or south. God damn it. East, southwest. Okay, that's north. Officer. There we got 2. Oh, headshot, bitch! Where are you? Hop out, bitch! Ah, so it is 200 meters. Well, I estimated it. Bastard was laying prone right there.
Got this guy.
Oh, right there, almost had him. He snuck up behind with an AK-47. And he blows off some C4.
Need you out there, man. Come on, get up!
Some type of weird jihadi. Guess he also shooting from the other side. For this class, I will be running the not the scout. Oh right, I wasted all the money. So a quick preface to this game. This game basically you have to earn money from the robber modes in order to buy any guns. R700 LTR, 388 Recon, AWS, which sucks. I'll tell you which ones suck. Sucks. Okay, because it has a suppressor built in. Not many people are fans. This is my go-to gun, M98B. That's the one I always used to use back in the other games. This one I fucked around because of the old school feel. I used it on this game, The Last of Us, Battlefield, the M1903, which I can barely see it, so that means I am getting more blind. Wow. M1903. And this is with my glasses, god damn. M1903. $25,500 for that. M82.416. West Warden Street. Wherever that is. I don't know if that's like when I get so immersed into the role-playing game and I already listen to the police scanner, sometimes I figure, what if like the intelligence agencies were just trying to test us at times and they would just include live chatter? Like, I think for police games in the future, and this is off note, a side topic, I think for police games and mil sims in the future, whenever we're playing in these environments, apart from all the, you know, immersiveness of the environment, I think the police scanner should be an option instead of having radio. Instead of having, like, you hear that little music in the background? Why would we need to have that music when we could just have the police scanner so we can get more, like, immersed in the game? Well, in this game it's soldiers and cops, but in the other games it is definitely milsim music. They don't have, like, except for when you're giving commands. The enemy is rushing objective A. Get the bomb, objective this, or the enemy has captured our flag. That's not a scanner. Like, they should just have something that's like looping. Like, this game has a police scanner, and that's what I like about this type of thing right here. In the little menu, it has a police scanner. I don't understand what they're saying. They must be codes. M5SD. I mean, I don't play with... Let's go the old school with the MP5. This is the type of gun I would use to rush into somebody's house. A known terrorist or drug dealer. MP5.
Get these fucking guys off!
Tell me the grenade get somebody. Oh wow, how people love the FAL. 100 gold stars on it. Highest gun I got was the combat shotgun. I believe the ACR.
Throwing grenade!
M16 for sure, I got gold twice. I really love that gun. I got the M1903 to silver. It might have been gold. I think I might have when I was no-lifing it. This was talking like pretty much like 8-7 years ago when it first came out for the PS4. This game is old. I knew he was going to control. Let me make the screen bigger because I can't see a goddamn thing with this shit. There we go. Fuck you, bitch. Yeah, like it says, face the case. Face the case 1 says face the case.
Frag out!
Yeah, these motherfuckers are on tryhard mode. I haven't played this game in a year. Time to snipe the fuck out of him from long range. You tried me, dude, and now I have to get very not close, so personal. I don't like it when you do anything. Did they say the boys? That was the weirdest thing ever. I really hope it's just the... failed to communicate with Battlelog. It's like that one thing from the video games that are indie. They put all this stuff that sometimes could just be hacked. Oh shit, I still had voice recorder. They just have the stuff like first said game that'll be indie. It'll have the stuff like looping in the background, subliminal stuff, and at the same time, hey, that looks like me when I have my balaclava with my glasses. But it'll just look like that type of shit, or sound like that type of stuff, and it'll just be weird because like, if you have the Citizen app for people that listen at the to the live stream, you already hear enough of that, and even without the Citizen app, in my time, it was a police scanner from the dumb little app store on iPhone. And when it's not police scanners, it's pretty much just... You're not gonna believe this, but when I was like 12 years old, I called this one number on some dumb shit, or was it 14? And it was some type of sex site, but all these people were already on there. And they knew I was like a fucking kid. And so during that time, we were all playing messages. This was on a phone. I set myself up back then. I was like 14 years old, although I can't really set myself up. I just do retarded shit. And I called unrelated because I want to get to a main point that I'm about to bring up. But the story is because I'm like one of those old guys who tell stories to get the points. And so I ended up calling a sex site that I saw on television advertised. And I was still not in high school, and I called, and when I called, these people who now, after looking at all of these other names, not the ones that I was talking about now, this is completely separate, all sounded the same. All of it. All the names. And the weirdest thing about that was, this was during the age of children aren't screened on the phone, whatever. At times I can't have a deep voice. My vocal cords have been paralyzed partially, depending on how I'm sitting. So I'll sound different at times if I'm laying down, sideways, straight up, etc. So pardon for the voice fluctuations. I got my jaw broken as a kid. Number two, on that call, immediately you could tell I was a fucking kid. Then. And yet people still, how old are you? How old are you? And you should have seen the guys. I traced a few back to the suburbs. I don't know why some of them are affiliated to my extended family. I don't like asking any questions, but... and yet physically cannot do much. Mentally am not fit. Psychologically a brick wall. And yet, why am I not in school? Why am I not in these places? Because I do things the hard way, the old-fashioned way. Put in work, reap results. I don't ask anybody, give me results, or, like, you know, cocksuckers. Now I'm just gonna start going on tangent. I'm gonna treat this as a fucking podcast. You know, cocksuckers who just bring me results, but they themselves don't want to give results because they've spent so much time working at a fucking desk that it would be just fucking easier to make it somebody else's job. I bring my own results. But yeah, cocksuckers that are like that. Bring me results, bring me results. Too comfortable working at desks. Don't want to go to crime neighborhoods. I just had a rant about that because these are the people that have been tasked in many major areas of life, because apparently going to school for X amount of time, factoring X amount of tuition spent, is equatable to real life knowledge and real life skills. And sometimes things just don't coincide, or they're not relatable, such as a past metaphor. You go to school, you pay money, you get in debt, you get a degree. Does not mean you are a professional at what you do. Furthermore, just because you didn't do it that way doesn't mean you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They have a book on how to fix anything. Yourself, with help, a DIY, whatever. Most of the people I know are do-it-yourself by nature. They're not like, you know, hey, I'm gonna do it, how do I this and that?
Right there! Got a grenade on him!
Me too, for the most part.
Guy right there! Fuck! Grenades!
Got the guy to talk. Let's go get these guys.
Suspect eliminated! Grenade! Squad unit is down!
I was spot on. Anyway, sorry, I'll leave the podcast aspect to when I'm reloading. Point being, you have a lot of people that presume themselves to be very, very untouchable, very, very invincible. Big wigs of sorts, and then the only way that they are ever regulated accordingly
Grenade going out!
is when we all pitch in.
5 officers remain on site.
Shit! Officer in the cell! Officer down!
I got a cop with a riot.
As I was saying before I got distracted, so these people that come from various backgrounds, various societal niches, various income levels, various demographics, are sometimes tasked with being community leaders, being activists, being a face of the community, but the community's like, we don't like them, they suck. But yet nobody's like, I want to nominate this person, or I think this person's better. Largely because they're afraid. I'm going to be very quite frank. They're afraid of the blackmail. They're afraid of all of the stuff that they've been given, taken away, for the very real consequence that somebody will shit on their life. But how do you not know that somebody's not doing that right now? Because, in my point, I decided to become I'm not gonna call it cybersecurity, though I use technology to an advantage when it's permissible, legal, and necessary. But I will say the following. I don't hack into people's accounts to see what their social security is or see what they have going on in terms of XYZ, or to get their financial records and then call them on another number. Hi, your financial records, do you want them back? Give me this much money or they will be liquidated. I'm not the type of person that figures out your wife is cheating with this guy. Also, hey, heads up, he has AIDS type shit. I'm not the guy that's like in your computer mining cryptocurrency for no good reason, and then I tell you to come bring your laptop in for repair sometime later so I could plant more of this shit so I could, you know, be mining from remote and then have access to all your files in the process. I'm not that type of guy, because that would be a spy of our country. Now that we know what I am not on multiple levels, one thing I am is this: within my ability white hat who maneuvers his way around the system a bit different than most people. Most people would see an obstacle as a type of limitation, like a brick wall. Bro, how are we gonna get around it? Some people...
I got this fool! Watch the sniper!
Tear gas, get back!
Some people would be like, just destroy it, break it, climb over it. I'm the guy that observes it and chooses to go around it. And that's a very bad metaphor, but I'm not the best at metaphors. Essentially what I'm trying to say, and for very good contextual alignment in this podcast, as I was stating and referencing multiple types of people and the types of perks and levels they get up through life, but at the same time making it very clear that you're not special, dude. You are replaceable. And somebody like this college dropout who dropped out due to financial matters can very well do your job, if not better. And for the most part, I've been doing it without pay, because I care about my country, my community, and my people. You, and whoever this applies to, do the job only when your payment has cleared. Son of bitch, cocksucker, fuck. You can't put a price on democracy, and you can't put a price on being vigilant. That's exactly how the riots happened on the 6th. Everybody has their own interpretation. I will tell you this much, and this much has been confirmed. So many rogues were there that not even the actual hate groups and front groups knew who was who. Why? COVID. What makes it more hard? Masks. Essentially, it could have been anybody, not even the people that were there. For fuck's sake, somebody in my neighborhood was arrested, and it wasn't the FBI. They claimed to be some other outfit, and they said that because he took a trip over there, and it had Minuteman on his van, and there was a big thing. But this was one guy out of many. I know a few Middle Eastern people that took a trip over there. They weren't stopped, and they engaged in the same thing. I know a few black people that were. You know, they treat black people very different. They treat some of them like they're invincible. Others like, hey, you're invincible, but get out the way, nigger. Like that type of shit. And that's how they act. And black people are not dumb, but the Uncle Toms that get treated better, they think they're somebody. And then meanwhile, the common, you know, drug slinging dude who's on the streets, yeah, man, yo, what, my life isn't more important, isn't worth as much as yours, not important? I'll kill you. And that's why you have that problem. And that's sad, because that's the way it is. And it goes on and on and on. I wish I could get to something that is a bit more, you know, why don't I just talk about things off the game? but talking about things of the game isn't what I do. I think for the past few years, anybody who's familiar with my videos knew I was into psyops, knew I was into defense, counterterrorism. big note on counterterrorism. Everything else was secondary. And I'm still learning, I'm still training, and if I have to do it the 9 to 5 to get money for this and that, just so I could, you know, get a thing to be, which I currently do, I'm doing it that way. I'm not going back to school. I don't need recognition. I certainly don't need a fucking degree to prove my thing. Maybe down the line. That's if I consider it. I mean, when you take into context, oh my god, I'm in love. I know how I beasted at this game now. When you take into context the way people... It's like... They're just... Does the other subsidiary that I am the sole proprietor, I can tell you legally. I can tell you that I have feelings and I support a few other industries abroad. I do not through financial hardship, financial programs because I'm not a terrorist, and no, not through financial programs because I'm also not somebody who counterfeits visas. So I support them in different ways. But the problem is that today, in today's world, one day after the 4th of July, people are out here as if the 4th of July meant nothing. It doesn't matter if you hate the country, that's your opinion. May God fucking help you.
Here comes the grenade!
Wouldn't you be desecrating wherever you're coming from, desecrating the fucking country you live in? Just my take. But it's 100% a thing. And so what I find shameful, pardon, I'm distracted by the game. Just, it's all 24 hours.
This guy got taken out!
We already have everything. Try keeping knocked everything in the fucking city. Be every fucking day. This is going on over there. This is going on over there. It's with having a map of hot spots in the city. I don't have a car, and even if I did have a car, I wouldn't be visiting all places every day. It's impossible. You can one person cannot physically be at every single location 24/7, 365. For that, we have computers. There's no way in hell, but it is fun to try. Like, sometimes I decide to go out and bike, playing the game Pokemon Go, because I also upload to the community. I make the data better reflect what artificial reality is. It's a side thing, anybody could do that. But I try to go as far as I can. I purposely try to get lost. And what I hope to do is, okay, I'm in this area. Now, what would happen? Somebody could come offer me drugs, somebody could try to, like, rob me, kidnap me, shoot me, misconfuse me, gang affiliation, all types of shit. And I kind of think they do. Because I'm not actively looking for problems, but problems seem to come to me. And so they must retaliate in some way. And so when I call them patrols, because even as civilians, those of you that have attended neighborhood watch groups or whatever, you know, there's so many outfits. Don't believe any of these civilian protection groups. They might as well be labeled gangs, because they're starting to employ people that are from gangs So, buyer beware. If you, whoever's running your neighborhood watch program, if you're employing gangbangers, you're not exactly part of the solution, are you? And then you wonder, who stole my car? Who broke into my house? Hey, could it be your clientele that you were employing under the table? Because they're gonna fuck you over for whatever reason, because they don't have allegiance? Yeah, that's probably why. And then you're in shock. Bad company will turn on you quicker than good company, but good company does turn as well. So it's a double-edged sword.
One of our fucking guys is down!
So what I don't understand in reference to all of that is, how could a few $100,000 make you feel better? Like, what will that do for you? If I had $500,000 immediately because I know I'd be spending it all, realistically what I would do is, 1, finish paying off this house. 2, I don't need anything because I work for my money. I'd give it to my brother. And if he's like, which I highly doubt, I'm not gonna use this money, we'll donate it to charity. But I don't have anything I need because I work for my money, is what I'm trying to say. If you can't find a way to work for your money, what are you doing? Busy dying. During this, I'm going to go into a lot of topics because this is going to be called a ranting stream, local ranting stream, general stream. I'm probably going to title it general stream. The next topic is on the subject of identification and fraudulence. I can't stand it. And it's not just illegals, it's not just, you know, it's fucking businesses, bro. Like, businesses that are not legitimized. I won't speak much on that. I have a big problem when they're collecting my information, but then all of a sudden, the number you have dialed does not exist. The company has been shut down. What? Within the 3 months we were talking, a company shuts down? After such a... I always found that odd. I have to I have to look up in my notes, what was that one company? It was a medical company, by the way, and it was where they did the epidural. That's what I'm referring to. Yeah, it's 2017. I'm indexing multiple things at once, so give me like a fucking break. The other would have to be the medical work that was done. All of that is neither here nor there. These situations should serve as like an example of very real possibilities that have happened to me and others. Oh my god, little cunt bitch. And I'm not the only one. Homeless people. Homeless people. If they can live with like AIDS and cancer, so can I. I already have it at this point, and I don't care. My lungs aren't gonna get healthier, my body's not gonna repair itself, and I don't care. Which brings me, like I said, this podcast is gonna have things from all over the place. Which brings me to my next point in reference to the homelessness situation in the city of Chicago. They're not giving these people enough credit where credit is due. They should be giving them Section 8 housing, giving them money to live there. That money goes back to the same system. It helps you ingress more, and you're giving people a chance. And there's a government job-sponsored program that I've applied to. They stole my information, never got a call back. Some guy called Frank. Sorry, I mix it personally when I've gone through it. So if I've gone through it, the situation gets personal very fucking fast. Another that's the case. Like, instead of telling these homeless, yo, I really can't say enough about the homeless because I worked at a fucking store where we keep the food. They don't let us give it away if it's 1 minute before the time. If it's this and that, why? Who knows, bro? You're already getting reimbursed. It's all like all over there on the application, and you can see how much you're getting back via cent. But most people are stingy, and so for so many of the places that I worked at, yeah, you get the food, yeah, okay, cool, eat whatever, fat ass son of a bitch, but when it comes down to people going into the store, hey man, could I get some food? Sorry, we are not running a charity. We're not running a charity, but we're getting rid of half of the shit. I ate it all because I'm used to eating expired food. Nobody knows what poverty is like me. I'm used to eating just plain ass tortilla with salt and not eating for years at a time because of low food. I did that multiple times. Eating the same thing every day. If there is no food, there is no food. Of course, this is a 26-year-old man telling you this. If you guys would have been there when I was like, what, 5 years old, 10 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, 18 years old, and that's where I stopped blaming myself, you would have known. You would have seen things. You would have viewed my situation as not exclusive, but wow, I'm sorry. No sorry's ever good enough. Anyways, I don't even feel sorry for me.
Have a grenade, motherfucker!
I don't believe in feeling sorry for me. Because the world ain't gonna get any better.
Fuck!
Only we do. Even with limitations and all this shit. Unfortunately, though, some people cannot get good. Some people cannot. This is how I choose to help my team instead. Ah, they updated the hacking thing. I like this shit.
Door ready. GPS spotting ready. Trace ready.
This is how this is kind of what I do in my real life job as a freelancer. I don't need no bullshit $1,000 computer. I don't need no state-of-the-art. Number one, now we're going into technology hacking, black hats and white hats. Black hats are closet homosexuals. White hats are like,
Overclock
I'm a
ready.
hobbyist. I build my own computer with the lowest amount of this and that, and I do it because I want a workspace that is accessible, not one that makes me look like a fucking, you know, I want attention. Look at
Fast deploy ready.
look at what my money managed to buy me. Look at how awesome I am. Look at how, and yet I'm still doing the wrong thing in my country. Cocksucker, bitch. You should be hacking because you want to make a difference, whether it's for your own community, the safety of your community, the integrity of your people as a whole, not because you want to engage in some fast money. And some of you don't even hack for fast money, some of you hack for other reasons. We know about the deep web. We know about how you pay to watch people. Maybe if you weren't so fucking ugly, you could get a fucking boyfriend, or if you weren't such of a fucking whore, you could get a fucking wife, husband, whatever. Then it goes even worse for the drug market. people sending, you know, police officers posing as, yeah, man, what are you trying to cop? And I don't blame them. I mean, if you're on the deep web trying to buy drugs, you're on the deep web for other reasons, pal. We're not retarded. Like, an intelligence system. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, if you're on the deep web for drugs alone, you're on the deep web for something way more than drugs. And, yeah, no, it's sad. So many people that have been part of that, and then they get, what do you call it? Killed. They've been poisoned through shrooms, LSD, heroin, marijuana, just because there's psychopaths out there that gather intelligence on these people, say we're gonna sell it to them. God forbid it's somebody from the States, because then you have, you know, DOJ time. But at the same time, half of these people aren't running a business, they're running a front. And between me and the viewers and whoever watches this, a front is most always illegitimate. A business has the means to become illegitimate. That's the difference. Want to become legitimate through the means of somebody else. Not as no cutthroat dumbass shit.
GPS spotting ready.
Because at the end of the day, everything, and I mean everything. I need to zoom in.
GPS spotting ready.
See, you can see all the cameras, real life, like an aerial recon. Why play the game when you can monitor it? Right here we got 2 people, whole squad. Let me relay the message to them. Okay, like right here, see? Alright guys, you got a squad right here, squad G, whoever's right there in that building. And squad H, you got guys right here, look. Right in front of you, right here. Right there. All of them. You're staring right at them. Yeah, they're in the building. I see you in the building. They're shooting from there. You just shot a thermite grenade. Oh no, am I gonna trigger some 9/11 vibes up in this bitch?
GPS spotting ready.
There was a terrorist plot I uncovered among many through some bullshit cicada game. Riddles, and riddles. And it was talking about the ways in which people, yes, people, they refer to them as subjects, could be drugged. And this isn't no vaccine conspiracy, because we'll get to that in a minute. This ain't no bullshit like Ebola type shit, but it is some stuff. And they were saying that if they could implement enough nanothermite or enough liquid nitrogen inside of an individual, it could cause effects that could not be reversed, such as permanent rib cage and lung dysfunctions, which were previously sought or known to be caused by carcinogenic compounds like cigarettes, marijuana, opium, any type of drug you inhale, or forest fires, whatever it may be. We're now seeing that if people were to, you know how they inject you with saline at the hospital when you go for a procedure, or even when you're about to be prepped or whatever. I've had it done so many times, but yeah, the saline, it always feels so cold, and like afterward for like a few months it feels like the saline is just in your body and you're so nauseous. Personally, I am. That saline stayed in the fucking body and I was like so nauseous the entire time. I had to sweat a shit ton before my original body smell came back. I'm not kidding you. I was like very, very drenched in saline because this is when I was going to give blood at the Interstate Blood Bank, back and forth, every day, flushing out, putting saline, flush it out, putting in saline. At some point, I received a call. They said, you have AIDS. They also said, it looks like we can't take any more of your blood, not because you have AIDS, but because your body's thinning it. And then I said, oh, really? You don't think it was a consecutive 2 weeks of me donating blood without a stop? I never felt weak or lightheaded, but I did start getting skinnier back then, and I was obviously a fucking fat son of a bitch before.
Overclock ready.
And that just leads me to my next point. My blood is worth a lot more money than $45 and $60. And you know that all of our blood is worth more. For these companies to pay us next to nothing. And this was once more in the ghetto community. Where ghetto people go, they have bills to pay. Step right up and get pricked so you can get some more thing. And in the process, if we don't like you, this can't be confirmed at that location, but it can be confirmed at other hospitals. In the process, if we don't like you, you can get drugged with cancer or AIDS. Hell, what do we care? You're gonna keep coming back here, you'll never know, you'll never figure it out. You're just a retard dumbass who we want to die. And if you ever did figure it out, we'd hire people to kill you. You won't figure out who they are. And once you figure, oh shit.
GPS spotting ready. Overclock ready.
It doesn't always work that way, but for the most part, when you're dealing with, to recap, illegitimacy, fronts, racketeering, money moves that are not completely 100% authorized or even audited in the correct sense, because one manager has a version, the other one has the real version, the other one claims they have the stories tend to fall apart. At base, what'll always be there in each of these scenarios I've described is the truth. It is not shrouded, not masqueraded, but embedded in our reality. But anyways, because I was trying to get to the main point. Hospital settings, injecting this and that, whatever. Back in the day, there was a guy, this was when I was with the leukemia thing as a kid, a guy at the hospital, pissing out blood. They inject him with something, starts pissing out white. I saw this because I was visiting a family member.
What brought Florida State Police to a remote private island remains unclear.
Literally
But as a
pissing
running
blood.
gun battle stretches into its second hour, many are asking them to pull back. This is Sky 5 News.
This is ingrained in my memory. This is also around the time when I was injected with that stuff, and it helped me because I had a very bad sore throat. I didn't know what to do. Weird memories that are coming, but it's still relevant for relevancy's sake. The other
One of the
thing
suspects is down.
All right, we got the guy to talk. Let's go get these guys.
Back door ready.
This is a team deathmatch. The other thing I did want to
Back
mention,
door
give me
ready.
a second here,
Officers, we got what looks like severe weather on the way.
that these individuals that have fronts and do this and that on thin ice. Because I said so? No. Because the top guys and their brackets would probably be pissed if they figured out, and now they probably know, that a ne'er-do-well like me, with a lot of ambition, no consideration for the end, shut them down consecutively over and over, and all that money went to waste, and yet you're still not done paying for it.
Trace ready.
You could spend a shit ton of money running somebody's live, or you could spend a shit ton of money trying to defend yourself both tend to intertwine at times.
Overclock ready. Back door ready.
And for most of these situations, one pivotal element that remains the same for most. By no means am I saying I'm correct, I'm the best, anything.
GPS jamming. Fast
Is the
deploy
following.
ready.
Maybe if you would have listened, maybe if you would have paid attention when I told you, and when I say told you, I'm being very broad and very narrow in the sense. It's meant to be rhetorical, but I'm speaking to the community, which is me speaking into a device while live streaming, so apologize. You players listening there and speaking in Spanish, I'm not talking to you only, I'm talking to everybody. Is that maybe when somebody tells you do this and be careful, it really should be crossing your mind, like, oh shit, maybe I should do this, I should be fucking careful, maybe I should stop doing that, maybe things will stop getting more fucked.
GPS spotting ready.
You tell somebody there's a truck that is about to come in exactly 10 minutes, full speed down that road over there, Grace and Long, Linder, for lack of a better word.
GPS spotting.
You tell them, don't park there because it will 100% ram your shit. It's not gonna care. It will just ram everything. You tell these civilians, everybody, can I get your attention? First of all, they'll look at you like you're crazy. They'll be like, fuck you, man. You're high. You need help. And then, alright, man, I tried doing my civic duty. 10 minutes later, a car's blaring with its fucking sirens, loud as hell. People are parked there, they're just all of a sudden, then they come out of their house. Why didn't anyone say anything? Bitch, who do you think was saying shit? You chose to ignore it. The same situation applies when we're dealing with, like, I guess, CT, when we're dealing with active hostage situations, when we're dealing with, give me 1 second, I'm about to hack a camera right now.
Fast deploy requested.
You want fast deploy? I got you. But yeah,
Back door ready.
point being that
GPS
when,
jamming ready.
oh my god.
Fantastic. Ah.
Point being that whenever you decide to take on the role of, quote, the one that is coordinating everything, not only must you assure that all of your team members are 100% integrated, quote, integrated, because half of the time they'll just tell you what you want to hear, which means they don't have to work, which means they could hide their intentions from you, and you buy it because you're such good friends. Number one rule of anything in the world, there are no friends, and when you do get accustomed to having friends, be prepared to have those friends turn against you.
Upgrade ready. Fast deploy ready.
It's a fucked world.
GPS spotting ready. GPS jamming ready. GPS spotting requested. GPS spotting ready.
Interrogation worked. Now we know where to find these guys.
Here's about how I feel about the whole intelligence aspect. And I'm gonna mog the shit out of it because if they really want to arrest me, they could just come here, bro. I'm ready to go to fucking jail. For what? For nothing. That's how ready I am. Might as well take this fucking gun and go shoot these motherfuckers because I legally can. I know where they live. I know what they've been doing. Just go to their fucking house.
Upgrade ready.
They want to interview me on the news. Why did you shoot them? Why did you shoot them? Here's the entire dossier. Here's all this shit. Don't ask me no questions. Get that camera out of my fucking face.
GPS jamming requested. GPS jamming requested.
But it's like they say everywhere. My contacts, my teachers. The Second Amendment right in American movement right now is under fire because people are just so. We can't do this, we can't do that, we can't anything because we'll be seen as bad. Like, the way I view the world is you don't get into people's business or ways, but they certainly, most often than not, will get into yours. And that goes for anybody, whatever branch, level, seniority, niche you feel you are at.
GPS spotting requested.
I learned
By Bravo leader.
pretty...
Point of interest requested.
Yeah, give me a second, dude.
GPS spotting requested.
It depends. The one thing you can always count on is the following.
GPS spotting
In terms of intelligence, we are not called America and Country or America and Friends Co. or Inc. We're called America Incorporated, meaning we have exclusivity here. I don't want to hear nothing against no Patriots. I don't want to hear nothing against no Antifa, no Black Lives Matter, no stupid retarded shit against the whatever. They're still American groups that have been infiltrated by foreign influence, but they're American nonetheless. Right? Motorcycle clubs are not racist. So when you say that a motorcycle club is racist, you're saying that those teenagers on bikes are racist. So when you're saying that those teenagers on bikes can be shot and are racist and gang affiliated, you're saying that people on motorcycles the same, like, you see what I'm saying? But yet when you see these fancy ass suburban cars with the fucking plates and the people speeding, doing all these weird shits, meanwhile other pedestrian civilians on the road are just as shocked as you and I are when they see me on the side. Probably don't even look at me. They just see me. They see these people there turning mid fucking road, almost causing a collision. They're fine. They're 100% mentally stable. Maybe they should get checked for mental illness, because the last time I drove, took a test, never was it okay to do a halfway turn while on your phone in mid-traffic during a pause, a brief intermission of red to green light. Also, never has it been okay to fall asleep at the wheel. And to that Angela Smith woman, if you're gonna be passing out in the middle of traffic, you need to go back on your medication, because it's apparent you need help. You can't be driving. You're not licensed to drive, and I have you on camera. I helped you because I thought you were fucking dying. I didn't help you because I wanted to see response, because you thought it was a fucking joke to see what the fuck I would do. I helped you because I thought you were fucking dead. And then I noticed a stupid game you play. You have other motherfuckers pretend to fake like they're dying in front of their car. I take a picture, I record them, all of a sudden I walk back. Magically I'm fine again. You're a sick fucking person. You're a psychopath. You're sick. Genuinely, not because I'm a good Samaritan, because I care. Caring doesn't mean you're a good Samaritan. Caring means you look past indifferences. Check up on everybody. Guy on the street. Yo man, you good? Black dude who looks homeless. Yo man, you good? Dude who clearly doesn't need money, but I gave him money. Man, how much money do you need? Crack addict who needed money. Dude, what do you want, $100? Here. People, you need somebody to pay for the bus? Take it. Money isn't anything except a means. What am I supposed to do? Live like a rich son of a bitch? Just to be the thing that I despise? I'll tell you right now, no amount of money and no amount of piece of shit entitlement would ever sway me, because I like the simple life, simple things, trying hard, working hard.
GPS spotting ready.
I like getting to know people, I like getting to know their problems, I like trying to make a difference and being able to help. Whether they believe it or not, that's up to them.
Trace ready.
And you just can't do that when part of an agency or outfit. You just can't, because you're already looking after whoever. That's called the contract.
Overclock ready.
As a freelance civilian, I can look after anyone wherever I work. I treat that place as if it was my own mini office, because I have an office.
GPS spotting. Access deploy ready.
Partly because I want to kick somebody's ass. Partly because I'm really hoping they try to kill somebody like me. But try to do a robbery, and my skills could shine and I intervene before anybody else does. And I won't do it to be no hero, just because, I can prove it. I gauge the situation. I know when to respond. Irregardless of these people who I know where they live, they stole my identity, I know they have guns, I know they have drugs, I know they have a bunch of stuff. I cannot legally go to their house and shoot them because I don't have a warrant, and I'm a civilian. So, I need to do things by the book. Because you know who doesn't do things by the book? Our enemies. They would 100% just go to the house, execute the person, and then just be like, whatever, who's gonna care? It doesn't become that much of a problem until those same, whatever, who's gonna care, people come up to them and it's like, remember, whatever, who's gonna care? And then it's like, oh fuck. The main message of this brief podcast is watch who you do business with, because all of these people that you work with are gonna tell in a heartbeat. And maybe that's what I was also trying to tell many of you since like 2014. I told you to pay attention to who the fuck you were working with. I told you to keep indexes on everything. I guarantee I told you about my connections. I told you where to go. I told you what to do. You didn't listen and things got bad. But you didn't listen because you were trying to piss me off. You didn't listen because of right and wrong, right and reason type shit. You didn't listen because of your ego and because you wanted to piss me off. And now look what happened. I'm fucking pissed off. Pissed off to the point where I could go do some shit right now. You know how many people ask for my help? None. You know how many people get my help? Everyone. You know how many people get me paid? Many. You know how many people I pay? Everyone. No, they don't. Once I activate the GPS spot and jammer.
GPS spotting ready.
The biggest sham that I saw was the president's, I mean some diplomats, this is gonna be happening in and out. You could probably already check with the feds and the DHS. I don't know how they'd classify it. I'm going into another topic if you couldn't already tell. Post bombings, post riots, post flights in and out. They said be on the lookout. This was January. I see bomb squads, cars everywhere in the vicinity for Portage Park because my neighbors are scared. And if it's not these neighbors, these cocksuckers on this neighborhood, the neighborhood goes beyond you.
Hostile online.
The neighborhood goes beyond you. There's literal mothers out there that are scared. Some that have been beat by their husbands. A lot of people that are just tired of bullshit. And what are they supposed to do? The one time they get to go outside because you're too much, like, you're slapping them. The one time they get to enjoy outside being...
GPS spotting ready.
I feel the worst for the kids
GPS jamming ready. Upgrade
because they all remind me of what I went through. Absent-minded father, mother only.
requested. Trace ready.
No male figure there to back me up. Taking all the punches.
Backdoor ready.
Getting my jaw bust. And so much
GPS
more.
spotting ready. Overclock ready.
I'm in no means to complain now because it doesn't matter.
They know where we are.
Backdoor
What
ready.
does matter is sticking to the premise. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce my next point. And there is no way to actually start this point. I just want to... Some things will be point related, other things will just be commentary because I like to talk about realistic things
Spotting ready.
within our modern day society.
Suspects have
Why?
location
Because I
data
live
on
in
our
it.
officers.
Trace ready.
In this society, currently, right now, we are seeing insurgency on multiple forms. The subversive, fuck you man, trailing you type shit
Overclock
to other people, to our actual employees. The overt, yo, fuck you man, what you trying to do, man?
GPS jamming
I
ready.
got this gun right here, maybe I'll just start shooting everybody type shit. The sly, gather information on him so we can execute him.
Yeah, but the interrogation was successful. They know where we are.
GPS spotting ready.
It's just a shame that this is all happening. This has been happening for a long time. It's not one president that is responsible for it, but people like to buy into that idea. How long have we had a presidency in this United States of America? The problem started a long time ago. Now, for somebody to say that the presidency is the responsible party for most of this during the current presidency term, yes, maybe.
Overclock ready.
VP doesn't want to visit desert regions for a good reason, and you'll know why. I think a lot of us know why now.
GPS spotting ready. Backdoor ready.
Our current president, Biden, POTUS,
By echo reader.
has basically been in office not even a year, and he's already saying that we've made groundbreaking this and that. I'm sorry, it doesn't feel like a year at all. How many reports has he been featured? How many world leaders has he met with? How many deals has he secured? Last I heard, he wasn't even willing to work with the Russians or the Iranians. Sure as hell not working with the IDF. Sure as hell not working with the UAE. Not working with China. Or rather, let me fix that. They say he's working for China. The man has no concept of what the Chinese doctrine is at all. And this is not taking shots at our president because he's still my president. But I just feel like there's people that could be better fit for the job. Dare I say, maybe even his son. But that's not gonna happen. And the Hunter Biden thing with the President Biden reminds me of a lot of situations that apply to me, basically. In one way, shape, or another. And that is with paternity. I've always kind of been like, what is this? How is this? Why? And then I see other parents, like today, this one guy stopped in the middle of the street. I didn't stop him. I was riding my bike. I saw a kid. The kid looked at me. Kids have this sort of thing where they feel they trust me and they tell me everything. For the most part, I was going to clinical psychology, lifespan psych, and a bunch of other psychological things. I wanted to be a shrink. I didn't have money. I fell out. Don't care. I'm a businessman, not a... Anyways.
Hostile offline expiring.
I was at those locations. First-hand experience, know what I'm talking about. But...
One down. Don't let up.
Good job. To give better context of the situation...
Door ready.
Give me 1 second here while I overcharge this thing right here.
Fast deploy requested.
Yeah, dude, you got it. Fast deploy.
Requested. GPS jamming ready.
So I am bored.
Trace ready.
And, I figured it all out in reference to them, because at this point,
Back door ready.
the bastardization of our nation is alive and well. If I were the JCS commander, and I was a general secretariat, and I was all the world leaders within a panels, had all the world leaders within a panel of G100, the G...
Upgrade ready.
I hope they call it the Gate Summit instead of G7 now.
Fast deploy.
I believe the first thing on the minds of all of our collective interests would be, what do we do about the traitors? What do we do about the ones that sold us out? The world would notice, I mean, depending on how free the country is, the world would notice if in America we were single rogue, terror, so many agencies, so many techniques, not everyone has the same approach, and I'm not at liberty to discuss what. Because the police handles everything differently than would say somebody higher up and somebody else. I know what to do with pliers and the battery, if that makes sense.
Overclock ready.
Fixing cars.
GPS spotting ready. Upgrade ready. GPS jamming ready. Back door ready. Trace ready. Back door ready.
Internet connection quality is currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Someone's trying to hit my network.
Overclock ready.
Not that I care, everything belongs to the military. My internet, my TV, my notes. That's another topic I wanted to touch upon briefly. And it's number one, motherfuckers.
GPS jamming.
You're living in America. Like it or not, like it or leave it, get the fuck out. Everything is already owned by all of our interrelated agencies. You think you have autonomy just because you're Mr. Moneyman or this and that? Not at all, pal. When it comes to counterterrorism and white-collar crimes and jurisdictive, you know what I'm trying to say. It is not a simple pay me money, we'll look the other way scenario anymore. It is how much money, it is why that much money, it is so you were hiding something. Thanks for the money.
GPS spotting ready.
It's very bad. When the riots, and now to bring it back to reiterate a main point, when the riots happened and people were saying that it was all racism and this and that, they had fake. They're trying to blame the FBI. I think Tucker Carlson was talking about how the feds have all this and that NSA, but all I could think about was the following. As a individual that works hard and all this and that, what exactly do you have to hide? I mean, these are politicians, these are talk show hosts, but I think Tucker was honest with regards to the book he's writing. I think he said he was writing a book.
GPS jamming ready.
You never know. He's gonna need to interview a lot of people. And so, at base, what I gathered from the situation with Tucker Carlson was that, one, he was set up. Two, it wasn't the feds. Whoever did it was very intricate and had access to all areas of the Fox network and his laptop. Null and void, that's a hack attempt.
GPS spotting ready.
But
Trace ready.
he's not the only one. And people hate on him. I chose him because he's one of the personalities on Fox. I used to watch the other guy, Lou Dobbs, but now they don't show much Lou anymore, so I watch that when I can. Not that he's a bad... I just think Lou Dobbs is more
Backdoor ready.
centric to what the American, I guess you'd call it, New Deal is. Sorry for bringing things out of context, but I call this modern America the American New Deal, where everybody lives off unemployment, doesn't want to have a job, thinks that things are so easy, doesn't want to put any work in, gets offended when others put work in, and then you're no good. You're no good. You're no good.
Point of interest requested.
With these limitations, you're no good? Why don't you tell that to somebody that matches your rank?
Backdoor ready. Trace ready.
This podcast can take the form
Backdoor
of
ready.
a variety of topics. One that I really want to speak on, and I'm willing to go across country just for this one endeavor, hoping I die in the process. I'm going across the American desert on my own, and I'm going to uncover the secrets. I don't care if they kill me, I don't care if they order a hit, I don't care if whatever thing's there want to fucking follow me, kill me, maim me. I am not scared. I know what is there. I crossed it so many times. And to think that our current Vice President, Kamala Harris, does not want to go there
GPS jamming
is sad. It took her over 2 weeks to go. And she didn't even go to the region. She just went to the big ice facility that everybody knows about. The one is it Nevada or is it Phoenix? Whatever the hell. The one that in between Texas, like, that is the only thing. She didn't go to the actual outskirts. She went to the little border region. Yeah, I get it. Haha, border. The problems are not at the border. They're on the other side, which we have jurisdiction to go over. I guess somebody needs to go look into the legal language of how to get legally over the border. For people like me, all we do is take a trip. We have family in Mexico. That's my stance. I'll go on a bike, I'll go on a mountain bike, I'll go trekking just to see how fucked up it is. If I die along the way, I die along the way. They say it's hot, they say it's bad, who knows how long it takes, but if I come back alive, it proves one of two things. Documentary, maybe I'll take a group of people with me. Documentary time, and I know plenty of people ready. They'd want to bring all types of supplies and shit, be well stocked too. Go in, interview a few key people. I have my journalist credentials with me. I never retired that. Just because I know the border situation is bad. That's how we get infiltrated for any border. The one with Canada, the one with Africa, the one with
spotting ready.
anywhere in the world. That's how we get infiltrated. It would have never happened if Bill Clinton was allowed to do his, I think the grant they gave him back in the 95 after his eugenics pandemics lecture. If he would have gotten the okay for, you know, before the busting seaman thing, he would have been the best president of that time. And instead we got other President George Bush, which I'm not downplaying anything, but a lot of people, I just don't think how, sometimes I sit back and I wonder, people don't really realize what it is to be a president, do they? It's way more than people would know how to handle. You're getting asked questions, you have to give a response that's not only, quote, to some politicians up on Capitol Hill, quote, viable, play on words, but you have to give a response that is educated too. A lot of the people are mocking our current president because he doesn't know what's going on. That's because in the same way that Donald Trump had no friends in the White House, none at all. Business, after the business thing, they're not friends anymore. In the same way that POTUS, Trump had no friends, they were giving him bad details, they butchered a few deals with other countries, but we still got a lot of money. Was that Joe Biden, to bring things into full context, it's the same party, different branches, Republic Democrat. Joe Biden also doesn't have any friends in the White House, and that is very concerning for the fact that how are we going to move forward with our safety plans? How are we going to move forward with anything that concerns national security if this is what we're being dealt? Not in a negative way, I just think he could be doing so much more. Like, I get the feeling that there's so many military people out there that would be way better presidents than a persona president. Trump had his moments, he sounds like a leader, he knows what to do, he doesn't, when it's bad shit, he doesn't hanker down and like, oh no, please. No, he sticks with it, he says, I know what I said, you know, what can you do, it was a statement, misinterpreted, it's not my fault. But the guy has confidence because he's a businessman. Whereas Joe Biden is the exact opposite situation. I was not briefed, but pay attention. I was not briefed. The memo didn't make it to my hands. I was unaware. And then they like to criticize him. He doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's talking. Because the intelligence doesn't make it to his desk.
Trace ready. Backdoor ready.
Our enemies pray we get into the White House as a president or whatever, background support, so that we could be made look like fools in the public eye, and then they run their media campaigns, and then you have very few hosts like Lou Dobbs, Rush Limbaugh, Carlson Tucker, the Big Five, and many more. Even local, I guess. Like, nobody really watches Channel 11, but it does have that thing.
Point of interest requested. Fast deploy requested.
And then you have the upgrade package for cable. You buy this and that, you get the best news coverage around the world 24/7. God, I guess that's how they got my parents back with that shit. They swindle you. Here, sign up for $50 to a bunch of channels you'll probably never watch, but it's worth it, I'm telling you, because I have it, and they really don't have it. And we could sit here and talk about flawed assumptions and relatability to the markets all day, but that's not what we're gonna do here. And I'm genuinely trying to play this game because I'm a hacker right now. This guy's requesting something. I got you.
GPS spotting ready.
There's so much. All I know is I've been all over the place with. I don't have my notes ready. This is all going off of things I've been living for the past few weeks, months, years. Started doing counterterrorism as an accident when I noticed that friends, how could I have been so fucking delusional? I have no friends. When friends tried to fuck me over and recruit me to Al Qaeda.
GPS spotting ready.
I trusted these people. I was only 17 years old, 16 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, up until 22 years old. I genuinely believed people. This was not being naive. This is not me being a retard. I genuinely took people for face value. Never again. Now you can see why I bring it to them. Whether it's down the street, big company, Mr. this and that, Prime Minister, whatever. Without any, I'm not naming names, I'm just saying examples. Now, I bring it to them because they see that Hewent is not a fluke. Hewent is not a joke. Hewent is not something that I just created out of thin air, pulled out my ass, took no work, indexed nothing, did nothing from the ground up, and then I step in like a jackass. Hey, I'm Hewent. I'm gonna do something that you all can't. No, I say I did something that you all can my own way, and I'm still putting in work because I want to do something that is private. That's exactly what it was.
Upgrade ready. Backdoor ready.
I'm at a loss for words. I've basically done a bit of everything. I've done murder cases. I was helping this one woman whose son was abducted and killed in Chicago, Illinois as part of a retreat. We all know what that means. God forbid and fuck these goddamn bitches. They arrived in Chicago sometime in 2015. Shirley Jose was a woman's name. The guy was a Middle Eastern guy that was here on a trip. The students hazed him, didn't like him, presumably killed him, made it look like an accident. Beach house, his father's beach house. Everybody came, took advantage of him. Next thing you know, he was found dead in a trash can in an alley, last seen with two white friends after they were taking him somewhere, drugged, and it was ruled a suicide, except he was in a trash can folded. A suicide cannot be ruled that way when you... Yeah, exactly. The way in which his body was positioned, you can't rule that a suicide. And so and this is how you know I do things with the least amount of information. Within 1 to 10 minutes, I gathered who his friends were. It was like 20 minutes at best. I gathered who his friends were, who his classmates were, who the cars were, what the location was. It was here in downtown Chicago. Who the school was, what the fraternity was, who the mom's contacts were. And all that she could tell me was, they killed my son. I know they have something to do with it. I'm going to murder them We're going to get revenge. She told me this, and I believe her because I know what it feels like to have your family members killed, all because it's people that think they hold power. That power goes away when people are gunning for you. And so, she told me that the last few people were being... She spoke to him one day before he disappeared. Apparently he stepped out of the hotel, was going to get a drink, never made it back. Two white boys are seen following him, and they arrive the next day with females. He is nowhere to be seen. Then they found his cell phone broken and in a trash can. For the record, anybody wants to kill me, you're better off selling the phones. There's more money, and nothing would happen to me. I don't need the phones. I take the phones because I like to play a game, and I like to listen to music. I don't take the phones because I need them. I take the phones to play a fucking game, and to listen to music because I hate hearing cars music. And I'm not trying to talk to nobody. When the headphones are on, it's code for I'm not trying to talk to you. But, to focus on that Shirley Jose situation. She never found her son, and to this day, I'm still working on the case. I'm working on a few cases, whether or not people want to believe it. I even tried cracking a few of the cases for the Most Wanted and the ciphers. I always thought it was cool.
Back door ready.
I used to not do my homework to do this stuff, and now it seems like I just do this stuff in my sleep without trying. Leave the technology running, index it, play the game, upload coordinates, get ping, repeat. Because I've already proven their links to each other and their associations to me. I don't break the law, I don't intrude upon devices. Cause and effect is there. I use that as a bridge in order to authenticate what I'm doing. Don't need to. Court records, permissible, evidence, everywhere. One country, one state, Illinois, one city, Chicago. One MO. Defense.
Back door ready. GPS spotting ready.
If I was doing some type of surveillance right here, here's what it would be. Look, right there, throwing grenades of sorts. Cut off their exit right there, blow up that bridge. Ha, they can't go around. Or else, right here, insert spikes and roadblocks on the side so they wouldn't see. Got an enemy running over there. Right here, they hit the road spikes, car goes out of control. There's a railroad and the sun right there. Rig the sign so it falls immediately. Right here, this train would end up blowing up as soon as somebody comes into contact with the train tracks. And the sign falls, triggering the explosive. Right here we have a series of land spikes. And over here we have like fecal matter, oil. Right here is where we have a car that's gonna come out of this garage. And it's gonna push the car into the fucking side of the road, hitting this little venue right there that's gonna be loaded with explosives. Right here, this truck is stalled. It's going to be there to cause any person that's driving from the sideways tire spikes to come to a halt, whether or not they're prepared for it. This right here is construction. They got trees. Put some type of shit in the thing. Whether it's I want to say something smart, but I can't think of anything. Maybe surveillance technology, a speedometer, just so, you know, we could always say, well, they weren't following the speed limit. How would they know? There's a speedometer right there. I didn't see a speedometer. Look, I recorded it. There's nothing. Yeah, well, we hit the speedometer right there in between the trees and over there.
Interrogation worked. Now we know where to find these guys.
I like to roleplay reality. Because that's exactly how I would handle this big area, you see? There's like 3 buildings, there's a radio tower, or pardon, a water tower. There's a bale of hay, there's a truck, there's a semi right there. There's another little abandoned wooden area. There's roadblocks. There are winding paths, train station, loaded with explosives, tracks, little forest area right here. Looks like it's a drug cartel market right there. Notice how there's no exit. It just continues right there. There's some type of shit over there.